Hey, I'm Paul Pargeter. I'm Director of Quality and Innovation. Been working for SeeAbility for 2 years. Yeah, really good. It's all in one place. There are lots of very clear forms that we complete. All can be reported on. Lots of filtering so we can get out what we want to get out very quickly. And anyone regulation-wise or anything compliance-wise internally can be looked at a lot quicker than before. Really well. It's something that we wanted to do and had been planning for a long time. So at certain levels we knew it was coming, really wanted to make it happen and so on. Came with lots of promises that we've fulfilled, such as spending more time with people we support and so on and so forth. However, there's always a sort of edgy change, isn't there, when we go from sort of one format to another. I think particularly when it involves technology. So some reticence, but with a really sort of comprehensive launch program, always with a telephone number or email for people to contact, and some really sort of human endeavours, I suppose, throughout that sort of transitional period. People are now really sort of beginning to get some traction with it, running with it, enjoying it and so on and so forth. So there's a period, I think, that we go through where we have to work really hard, but you come out the other end and it's a lot better.
Brilliant. So you was quite involved with the launch of the system?
Yeah, very involved. Had each particular team and home had their own day or number of hours with the launch. So I got to meet many different teams that way. We sat down sometimes individually with people, particularly those people that perhaps found it more difficult to access it, so those people with sight loss issues and so on and so forth. Took a little bit more time for them, but of course you make those reasonable adjustments with everyone. So there's been a number, I think, of different ways that we've launched on a sort of grand scale, but right down to that individual scale as well, which I think is needed when you do it.
Absolutely. So how long do you think that process really takes, that transition from going digital to actually being embedded? How long do you think that?
I think really for us, it took about 18 months, and that's not from sort of thinking about using it to using it, but actually just introducing it to everyone and helping people not only physically just have the devices and so on and get connected and do the stuff, but mentally be able to adjust to a new way of working at work. And I think actually, in a large-ish organisation much like ours, you can't do everywhere in one go either. We did a sort of a staged set of launches across the whole organisation. 18 months later, we're looking a lot better. Everyone knows it, now everyone's getting used to it and beginning to enjoy it. Yeah, we've had a number of inspections since we've introduced iplanit. Also CQC's sort of new regime as well, so that's been interesting. One of the things that CQC are looking for now is feedback from people, whether that be families, people we support, also members of our support teams and so on. And also sort of a narrative, I think, a story. What are people getting up to in their lives? And that's something that iplanit can really deliver for them. I mean, with their daily notes, of course, that are very easily looked at. But we also have a feedback section within iplanit where people can, provide us with their sort of concerns, but also compliments and so on, and those sorts of stories. But even more importantly than that, where the quality of life where it exists, where people we support telling us what their life is like, essentially, and the kind of things that they're achieving and wanting to achieve in life as well. So the narrative and the story is all there for them. It's worked really well so far for CQC. Yeah, for a long time we've wanted a really decent measure on people's lives, because that's what we do, help people have a good life. And the best way we always thought that would be was to listen to people we support, so they tell us. Not everyone can use words and tell us in really straightforward ways, but we know that they've got the ability to somehow to let us know how life's going. So with them, their circle of support, our staff teams, and just what we know about people through the years that we've supported them, we use the quality of life web that talks about 8 different areas of life, relationships and choice and control and home and money and so on, like for everyone. And we just get a really good rating and measure in each of those areas. People do it differently, but eventually what we have in iplanit is a number out of 5. Gives us a really good idea where things are going well, where things aren't going so well, which then leads us to think about what we can do to fill the gap. So if someone's, not doing particularly well, for instance, in life with regards to their health, we know that it'd be a really good idea to create some very person-centered goals and outcomes for that person in that area. In iplanit, we connect that up to the quality of life web. We create steps in order for the person to achieve it, and then we can track it. So, and then the person in 3 months' time or 6 months' time tells us again what life is like. We sort of continue the whole process just to make sure we keep on top of helping people have just the best possible life all the time. And that's not just about what we're doing, that's just about whatever is happening out there in life. Like for all of us, COVID occurred, didn't it, a couple of years back. For all of us, I would imagine, things around community and relationships kind of shrank a little bit, and it's no different for the people we support. So it's really good as a measure of what people think of life, but it also just keeps us on our toes in terms of what we need to do about it with people and what they want to achieve. So far that's been really, really great. Yeah, what I can say about accidents and incidents is our ambition to be data-driven around what we do and why we do it. So having everything in one place for us to analyse and look at with regards to accidents and incidents has been incredibly useful. Everyone's using it across the organisation now. So whenever we report on it, we're reporting on everything. Whenever we discover a theme, it's about everything everywhere. But what we can also do is be able to dive a little bit deeper into a particular region or into a particular area of accidents or incidents, medication for instance, and those types of errors that might be occurring, and make sharper, more precise action, I think, based on what we find. So far the data's really helping us, have just a real confidence in what we're going to plan and act to do. I think it's just brought everything together. So that sense of consolidation with all the reporting that we do, particularly the stuff that's very, very close to the people that we support. I mean, our organisation is one that, whatever we do, always has the lives of people we support in the very forefront of our minds. So with iplanit, much like any other system we're using, that's the key, that's the focus. And it enables us just to further press home the point that everything comes back to them. And that's the way, any tool that anyone has for anything I think in this job can be used and also abused, right? So it's not only the platform, but it's us making sure that people are comfortable using it, that they're using it in the right way, and they're very, very focused on the people we support, and that's the main thing that we want to achieve. I think this also very much relates to the simplicity of a digital platform being the one thing that you do. So I think it moves us away from the sort of chaos, I suppose, of folders and paper and reaching for things that could very easily be either duplicated or lost or whatever. It's one device and everything within it for a member staff. So once there's that confidence using that system, once people know what to do and how to do it, then everything becomes a lot easier. The main thing I would say for support workers and our support teams in general is that they get to spend time doing the job that we've employed them to do, which is supporting people to have a decent life, and that's what that is. Yeah, everyone is involved. It's within our values anyway, but everyone is involved in creating someone's support plan. They're in the middle of it, the centre of it, of course. Most of the choice and control is theirs. But we involve, of course, families as full partners in that. Also, there's we have logins for some families as well, where you can share media, pictures, little videos, messages. Also, people can share their calendar as well within that particular sort of function of iPlanet. So the facility's there to bring people together, and also it's just very much sort of matches our ambition for everybody to be sort of part of someone's life. Well, it used to be paper. I mean, apart from the stuff that we just save, on our own systems here. But we've certainly worked through a whole sort of period where papers would just pile up, and then we'd have the headache of where to archive it, where do you store it, when do you get rid of it, and so on and so forth. But even when you're using it in the moment, you've got to be. It just takes a lot of time and organisation to make sure that stuff is organised and at hand, and you don't need to think about that with iPlanet. Our organisation, like others, has a set of key performance indicators, but also principles and values, but also standards that we want to uphold and just really want to pay attention to. What you can do with iPlanet, and what we're currently doing, is make sure that is deeply connected and clearly connected with how we're supporting people in their lives. So it means that you avoid a situation where something just becomes a set of words or a list of things that remain in files or on paperwork, but you can actually check to see whether that's actually an outcome for a person with a support team supporting them in real life, and that's exactly what we want to do.